Welcome to Picking Strings with Friends. Today we're going to play a game I came up with called The Decider. Here's how the game works. The contestant will be given a choice between two bands. Then they have to decide which band stays and which band is erased from history forever.
Forever, 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 ever, forever, ever.
In the event they cannot decide which band to choose, they will be given a pass called the Golden Groupie. The Golden Groupie can be used just once to save a band from being erased from history forever. Today's guest is Clayton Cole. Welcome to Decider. Today I am joined by my good friend and good neighbor, Clayton Cole. Clayton, what's up, bro?
Not much, man. You?
I'm doing good, dude. You ready to play the Decider?
Oh, I'm ready.
Do you have any questions about any of the rules or how to play or anything before we get started?
No, I think I got it. I've seen a couple of the other episodes.
Round one, which is better, the original or the cover? So first I'm going to give you the song, and then I'm going to give you the band that originally did it, and then the band that did the cover of it.
Sounds good.
Okay, here we go. The song, The Man Who Sold the World. Who did it better, David Bowie or Nirvana?
You got to go with Bowie with that one.
Bowie, the original. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard. Even though like Nirvana kind of did it like on the spot, they did an excellent job, but it's so hard covering a David Bowie song and nailing it.
Yeah, it's Bowie. I mean, what are you going to say? It's Bowie.
Right. Okay, the song, Hallelujah. Who did it better, Leonard Cohen or Jeff Buckley?
Cohen. I love that dude's voice.
Rest in peace, man. He was awesome.
Man, you might have to edit this next word, but there's one of these songs he has, and it just has this line that says, "Give me crack and anal sex." And every time, I remember I was like 15, me and my dad were driving, and I was all, what did he just say? Like, that's when I fell in love with Leonard Cohen.
That's funny. What an awkward moment in the car. You're just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, the song Walk This Way. Who did it better, Aerosmith or Run DMC?
Aerosmith? I like the one where they did it together.
Yeah, that's actually, I think Run DMC takes credit for that one, but like, yeah, it's a collaboration.
Then if it's the collaboration, I like that one. If that's Run DMC's one, then
okay, the Run DMC version with Aerosmith.
Yeah,
that one's really good. The song Hurt. Who did it better, Nine Inch Nails or Johnny Cash?
Johnny Cash.
I agree with that 100%.
Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails agrees with that one too. I remember watching an interview with him, and after he heard it, he was all, "Well, that's Johnny Cash's song now."
It's one of my favorite songs to play on guitar, and like, I remember I did a recording of it, man, and like I really, really got into it, and like I'm gonna start crying while playing it. Like, it is just such like a fucking heavy song, man, and the way Johnny Cash did it, like, it was just, there's so much in it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's very emotional.
Yeah. Especially when you think like his wife had died, like I don't know, I think it was like 3 or 4 months prior, like, you know, June had died and stuff. So
yeah, it's such a good song. Okay, the song Olympia, Washington. Who did it better, Rancid or NoFX? That's a good one.
That one I'm gonna go with Rancid.
Rancid?
Yeah, there is an album on that split that NoFX did better though.
Which one?
Radio.
Yeah, they did an excellent job with that song.
I think that Rancid did better at Vanilla Sex.
Yeah. The song Higher Ground. Who did it better, Stevie Wonder or the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Red Hot Chili Peppers?
That bass line is so catchy.
Yeah, I love Flea.
He's so good. So good. Ridiculous
right?
lane bass. All right, the song I Fought the Law. Who did it better, the Bobby Fuller 4 or the Clash?
Clash.
Clash?
Yeah,
it's really catchy with the Clash. I like that too.
Yeah. Plus it's Joe Strummer.
Right.
Like, I actually like the stuff that Joe Strummer did after the Clash way more than the Clash, like the stuff he did with the Mescaleros and stuff.
I was going to ask about that. I was like, didn't he have a band on Epitaph called Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros?
Yeah, Mescaleros. Yeah, it's really good. And then there's actually a recording he did with Johnny Cash.
Oh,
it's him and Johnny Cash doing Redemption Song.
Wow, I got to hear that.
And it is fucking like when I first heard it, I was like, man, somebody did a really good job, like dubbing this in, like I thought they took both their versions and kind of worked it together, but then I found out that they actually recorded it together, and I was like, imagine being the dude in that studio, just like with Joe Strummer and Johnny Cash, just like, fuck.
I just sit there and be like, whatever you guys want to do is cool with me, man. Like, I'm just gonna make sure everything sounds good, and I'm gonna shut the fuck up and just listen and enjoy the moment.
Right? Like, and like, how does that happen sometimes? Like when you see like, how did you guys become friends?
Right.
Right.
You get those weird collaborations sometimes. Like, I'm trying to think of another one. Well, Aerosmith and Run DMC, like, who saw that coming? They get together and do a song and they fucking rock. It was so good.
Yeah. And because of them, we have Kid Rock.
Right.
I don't know. And like, that was like the first kind of rap and rock combination,
Right. Well, I remember Anthrax and Public Enemy did one that was amazing too. That was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good song right here. I Will Always Love You. Who did it better, Dolly Parton or Whitney Houston?
Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I love the Whitney Houston version though.
Yeah.
I give them both.
I'm not necessarily a fan of either of them, but I worked a Dolly Parton concert, and for her age, like, she's still just like, her stage presence was really good. Like, it was like, I'm not a Dolly Parton fan, but her stage presence was amazing.
Mm-hmm. The song Killing Me Softly, who did it better, Roberta Flack or the Fugees?
A few minutes later.
All right, well, I'll go with Roberta Flack. I like that.
You like that version?
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like to cook to. I like listen to mellow stuff when I cook. I listen to like that or like two-tone.
I listen to country music for some reason when I cook. I don't know.
Sometimes I'll put on some like Waylon Jennings or something.
Mm-hmm. I listen to Zach Brown Band when I grill.
Nice.
They're good.
They're all America. I feel like when you grill, you got to listen to Toby Keith.
Right.
I feel like Toby Keith, all his songs are about beer in America. So I feel like that's what you got to listen to when you barbecue.
Right, drinking beers and grilling steers.
Yep.
Okay, the song. This is the 10th and final question. The song is I Shot the Sheriff. Who did it better, Bob Marley or Eric Clapton?
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley? See, I like the Eric Clapton version.
This is one of those things that pisses. I was talking to you about with the Bob Seger thing. It pisses my dad off. I'm not an Eric Clapton fan. Like, he's a great guitar player, but a lot of his songs bore me. Like, he's very talented. He's just not. I don't know. I'm not a Clapton guy.
That's weird, man. Like, I don't like all his songs, but there's a couple catchy ones. Like I Shot the Sheriff's a really good one. Like Cocaine, Layla.
Yeah, like those ones are good, but some of them it's just like, it sounds like a 5-minute guitar solo, and that just turns me off.
Yeah, some to me like are overproduced. Like, I feel like they just threw in like a ton of extra musicians unnecessarily, and it kind of drowns out like his excellent guitar playing. That's just my opinion. I know some people like that, like the big bands and having like a choir and violins and cellos and all that shit. But for me, I'm like, Eric Clapton's such a good guitar player. You don't need all that extra shit. You just need, you're just a regular band, just a bass player, another guitar, him, maybe a singer and a drummer, and boom, go.
To make raw music with it. I can see maybe he probably does that stuff because he's bored. He's done it. He's been doing it for 50
Forever.
years or something. He's probably just like, what can I do next? Like,
Right. So. Okay, are you ready for round two?
Yes.
Round two is just for you, man. Punk rock.
All right. I like punk rock.
Okay, you must choose between, and so remember, you have the golden group to use it anytime you want. You can only use it once per game, so whenever you want to use it, let me know.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have you pick between Lagwagon or No Use for a Name.
Man, I knew that was going to be on there, and you went off and did it first. Yeah, it's going to be a No Use for a Name for me. Rest in peace, Tony Sly.
Right, I missed that guy. God, some great songwriting from that guy.
Yeah.
What did he die of? I can't find it anywhere. What happened?
You know, I think it was complications with drug use.
That's what I was
thinking. From things I've read. He was like medicated for on pain pills because his back was screwed up. And I think from things I've read, like it allude to the fact that like he took too many pills one night, or I wasn't sure the way it was alluded. So I wasn't sure if it was like he took too many or if they just did damage internally, because that shit, you know, it ruins your liver and kidneys.
Right.
So
sad story.
Very sad though.
How about H2O or Sick of It All?
The one you don't choose never happened.
They don't exist at all. They're completely wiped out. They're erased from history.
That's hard because I love both those bands.
I made them hard on purpose.
I'm going to go with Sick of It All that I'm keeping, solely based on the fact that if there wasn't Sick of It All, there wouldn't be H2O.
Right. H2O did do a sick cover of what's the Ice Cube song? Today Was a Good Day.
Yeah.
That was such a good cover.
H2O got their start. Toby was their roadie, and they would go out and they were like the opening band of Sick of It All.
Oh, nice.
They would go out and play songs as like the sound check kind of thing, because they were like the guitar techs and stuff. And so they would go out and play a couple songs, and that's how H2O kind of started.
Oh, badass. Didn't know that. How about Bad Brains or Fugazi?
Bad Brains.
Bad Brains? Respect that.
That one was easy for me.
I could tell you answered right away. How about Circle Jerks or Bad Religion?
Bad Religion.
Bad Religion.
Yeah. I'm real glad. I was thinking he's gonna ask me Bad Religion or No Effects, and I was still gonna pick Bad Religion, but that would be a hard one.
How about Operation Ivy or Rancid?
Can you have one without the other?
We'll just pretend, for the sake of argument, that only one will happen.
I'm going to go with Rancid because I'm assuming that we're not going off the hypothetical that Operation Ivy would have continued their career. And there's like 12 Rancid albums and only one Operation Ivy album.
Right.
So I'm going with Rancid solely based off the fact that like there's more content to enjoy.
Okay. The Descendants or No FX? That's a good one too.
I'm gonna use my crusty groupie.
Which band are you saving, and which band are you going to use for the Golden Groupie?
I'm saving the Descendants, and I'm Golden Grouping No Effects.
Suicidal Tendencies or Strung Out?
Strung Out.
Strung Out. The Ramones or TSOL? That's a good one too.
Yeah, that one's hard.
Like I said, I was typing these up. I'm like, oh, that's really good. That's really, really good.
I'm going to keep TSOL.
TSOL. Wow.
That's hard because, like, the Ramones are the Ramones. You know, they're the Godfathers. But I find myself listening to TSOL more often than I do the Ramones.
I listen to the Ramones a lot, like at least once a week.
I listen to both a good amount, but I feel like Plus, I've seen TSOL play in Bullhead like 3 times. Ramones never played in Bullhead, so.
Right. Okay, how about Cockspire or Dropkick Murphys?
Oh, man.
Yep. It'd be really fucked up if I put a timer, if I give you like 10 seconds to decide.
Yeah, because that was a hard one. Because, like, if there was no Cockspire, you wouldn't have the Dropkick Murphys. But the Dropkick Murphys were my favorite band, like, my entire teenage life. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I guess I'll go with Dropkick on this one. I don't want to, but I'm going to.
Black Flag or Minor Threat?
Ooh, that's tough. What? No. Yeah, no. Yeah, I guess I'll go Black Flag on it.
Black Flag. All right.
That's tough. I love both bands a lot. But, like, the Damage LP was a masterpiece. And the, like, EPs before that were really good. After Damage LP, it got kind of not good with Black Flag, though. But yeah, I'm going to go with Black Flag.
Okay, sounds good. And that was the last question. So we're going to go to round 3. Are you ready?
Finish him.
Finish him. Bands to replace their frontman.
Okay.
This one's only 5 questions.
All right, make it easy.
Okay, so I'll give you the band name and then which singers, the original singer and then the new singer. Yeah. So the band's going to be Foreigner, Better with Lou Gramm, or Kelly Hansen.
Lou Gramm.
Lou Gramm? I saw on, was it DirecTV or one of those concert series on TV? They had Foreigner on, and I watched them perform with Kelly Hansen. That dude's really, really good. I enjoyed it.
I'll be honest, I've heard that, but I don't know for sure I've heard him. So
he's good.
But
actually,
I've heard good things.
Actually, when I worked valet at the Aquarius Casino, they came in, Foreigner, and I met them. I didn't meet the singer, but I met Jason Bonham, who's John Bonham's son from Led Zeppelin. I met him, and I met the guitar player and the bass player. Yeah, and then Kelly came in later. But I met pretty much the whole band except for Kelly Hansen. They were super nice guys.
That's cool.
Yeah, Jason was super cool, man. I was like, holy shit. And I was talking to him, like, the whole time I'm thinking, like, your dad was fucking John Bonham. He was in Led Zeppelin, dude. I'm like, this is fucking crazy right now. Like, I was losing my mind.
Like, what it would be like to, like, be growing up and have your dad be somebody like that, you know?
Right. It's fucking crazy.
It's, whatever, like, the guy's name from the Wallflowers, you know, he's Bob Dylan's son.
Oh, Jacob?
Yeah, Jake. And it's always like, man, I always thought, like, imagine growing up Bob Dylan's son. Like, and then I remember when he came out in the 90s, like, he didn't want to be known as Bob Dylan's son, but he sounded just like Bob Dylan. Like, right. You know, like, I was like, man, you should change the way you sound. Like, you sound just like your dad.
Just imagine, like, his friends too, like, you know, like, I don't know, like the Beatles would come over or whatever. He's like, oh, you know, it's your Uncle John Lennon and that's Uncle Paul McCartney over there. And you're just like, okay, yeah, like, you're growing up, like, this is normal. This is normal childhood for you, like, and everybody else is just like, holy shit, dude, like, you grew up around these people, like, and they know you. Like,
I remember watching an interview with Hank Williams Jr. and, you know, and his dad died when he was like 6 or something, but, you know, Elvis would stop by on tour. Like, all these musicians would stop by the house, like, while they were on tour and stuff. So you're just growing up with, like, these legends coming through your house all the time.
It's fucking crazy. Look at Elvis Presley visiting you and be like, hey.
I keep meaning to check it out. Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, his son has a band. He's a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, that's probably, you know, if you don't want to be known, like, because it'd be, if you want to start, like, a punk style band and, like, your dad's the singer of Green Day, like, that's got to be hard because you can't make it off, like, the fact your dad's in a band or you lose all your punk cred.
Right.
you know. But if your dad taught you to play guitar and sing, you're probably going to sound like him.
Mm-hmm.
So that, you know, like he went to drums, so like he can kind of do it on his own. So that's kind of cool.
And then look at the drummer for Green Day with Trey Cool. He's like one of the best drummers out there. Like,
yeah.
You might think of it as like a punk rock drummer, but like when you break down like his fills and all that are fucking insane. Like he is super talented at drumming.
Yeah, he was actually. I have a book somewhere called Memorize something with Spy Rock, and it's got by the guy who started Lookout Records and Gilman Street and stuff. And he actually, there's a small town in Northern California where he was living. That's where like Green Day lived when they were kids before they moved to San Francisco area. And he actually taught Trey how to play drums when he was like 12 or 13.
Wow.
Because he needed a drummer. He needed a drummer for his band.
Wow, that's really
so,
cool.
Like Trey's first band was Lookouts, and the guy Livermore, whatever, Jason Livermore, I want to say his name, but taught him how to play drums because he needed a drummer.
That's so cool. Okay,
yeah.
let's move on. Okay, the next one. The band AC/DC, better with Bon Scott or Brian Johnson?
Bon Scott.
Me too.
I feel like it's the trade singers.
It's super hard, but they didn't have a choice. You know, he passed away, and they had the band's super good, and like you have to move forward. And getting Brian Johnson to fill those are big shoes to fill, man. I thought Brian did an excellent job, but nothing's gonna be as good as the original.
Yeah, you can. Within reason, I mean, there are some guitar players that you're just not going to be able to replace because there's something about them. But in a lot of bands, somebody else can learn to play those songs and that style of music or whatever. But the vocals, no two vocalists are ever going to sound the same.
Yeah, Brian tried. Like he kind of sounds a little bit like Bon Scott, but his voice isn't it's not there,
Even then, sometimes it's weird to me when somebody replaces him and then tries to sound like the old guy. Like that's
right. Journey, like what Journey did. Journey replaced Steve Perry with what's the new guy's name? I can't remember his name. The Filipino kid. Like he sounds just like Steve Perry, but like it's not Steve Perry. But he's good. He's very, very good. But it's not. There's like a slight difference, but he does sound very, very similar to him. It's kind of weird.
I think what Leonard Skinner did when they replaced their singer with his little brother was interesting because they sound very similar and they look identical. So I guess if you're going to replace him with his family, that works.
Yeah. Right. Okay, the band Black Sabbath, better with Ozzy Osbourne or Dio?
Oh man, make me piss off metal people one way or another, aren't you?
Yeah. You already hate Pantera, so you pissed off the whole metal community already.
Yeah, I do hate Pantera. I'm gonna go with Ozzy. I think I like the stuff with Dio was great, but I think I like the Ozzy era stuff better.
Mm-hmm. The band Sublime.
It's the Prince of Darkness.
Right. The band Sublime, better with Bradley Nowell or Rome?
Bradley.
Yeah.
I always felt that was a real shady thing that they kind of did there. Like I felt like a money grab because they already had a band where they were doing Sublime songs and stuff. The Long Beach Dub All-Stars.
Yeah.
They were doing that like right after, like a year or two after Bradley died, and they were doing some their own songs and some Sublime songs. So I kind of felt like trying to go by the Sublime name was a money grab.
Yeah, I just didn't a couple songs were all right, but I wasn't feeling it,
Yeah, I feel like that too. I think Sublime was a place and time, Like we all grew up with that, like so. It's kind of as sad as it is, sometimes I think that like those untimely deaths sometimes keeps bands in our like heartstrings. You know, like if Kurt Cobain lived and then they started putting out really crappy albums, like it might have tarnished what Nirvana is to us.
Yeah,
because like I love Nirvana, but if they put out, you know, look at Metallica, you know, great band, but the last 20 years they've just been doing shit, you know, and kind of became shit people. So it's like,
yeah, I didn't care for Saint Anger. That snare just ruined the entire album for me. I guess that's all I could hear. I couldn't hear any of the guitar playing, any of the singing, any of the lyrics. I just hear that snare, just bing, bing. And to me, I feel like their producer, like, he didn't want to tell them no, even though it was a bad idea to have the snare sound like that. What's his name, Bob Rock or whatever. Like, I feel like he's kind of like yes man now. Like Metallica, they just go in the studio and do whatever they want. And he's too afraid to say, this sounds like shit, guys. Like, just go back to 1980 and just fucking do what you were doing then. Like Slayer, they sound like they're 1980 all the time, all their albums. Like they just fucking shred the entire time. But Metallica, they're trying to do experimental stuff, and to me, like, it's just guys just like the old shit. They just, I don't know. To me, I don't get it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, Slayer's still good, and I'm the rare kind of Metallica fan where I like Load and Reload. I like that stuff still. You know, bad. Like Master. Yeah, it wasn't Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning, but I enjoyed that stuff. Saint Anger had a song called Invisible Kid that I kind of like, but the rest and that snare just,
it was bad. Just bad.
Yeah. Real bad.
The last question here. Van Halen, better with David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar?
David Lee Roth.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, I feel like Sammy Hagar is one of the most talented musicians out there, but his songs are so fucking cheesy. Like the way the lyrics are so bad to me. I can't stand it.
Did you ever listen to any of the Henry Rollins like spoken word stuff?
I've seen a couple of them.
There was one early 2000s, I remember, and he was talking about how they were like 13 or something, and him and Ian MacKaye went to go see Ted Nugent when they were young, you know, and nobody knew who the opening was, and the opener was Van Halen. And he's like, we were all pumped to see Van Halen, and then there was this band, and we didn't know who they were, and they come out and they blew us the fuck away. Like Van Halen just blew Ted Nugent out of the water. And you don't see that too often where like the opening band is just like compared to, you know, the energy that they had when they came running out on stage and stuff. That would have been, I feel like those would have been fun shows to see.
Yeah, there's a guy I worked with over, where was this at? I think at the Aquarius when I did valet at the time. He was telling me that he lived in LA at the time and grew up in like, you know, the 70s. Oh, excuse me. He said he went to a backyard party somewhere and Van Halen had played there. He's like, man, I saw them when they weren't shit. They were just coming up. He's like, they were so fucking good. He's like, I couldn't believe it. He's like, a couple years later, boom, they just blow up and take over the world. You know, the 80s were like Van Halen. Like, that was the band.
Definitely.
That's
crazy. I want to be
man.
in Van Halen.
What's that?
I want to be in Van Halen.
Oh, I wish. Have you seen Wolfgang stuff? Eddie's son?
I want to say I've seen some of it.
He's not bad. He's pretty good. Good bass player.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was actually playing bass for Van Halen for a while.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I always think like sometimes, you know, when you have a parent who's like that musician, like it's always like, man, like you got it, because like in theory there's going to be some of that like talent passed down kind of thing, you know, like, you know, genetics, like you have an ear or whatever, but you have somebody who, like, if they can't teach you, has access to the best people to teach you, And then in some situations, like in his case, where it's like taking that risk to become a musician is a lot easier because Daddy still has the pocketbook if you fail. Like, you're not going to be a starving artist.
Yeah.
Like,
and you got a really good teacher.
Yeah, and connections and stuff. Like, good for them.
Yeah, just imagine, like, if Eddie didn't have time to teach, like, he still could have, like, Zach Wilde or, like, Randy Rhoads something come over to the house and, like, sit down with them and give them lessons. That's crazy.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's, like, Hank Williams Jr., Hank Williams died when Junior was, I think it was, like, 8 or 9 or something, real young. Waylon Jennings basically taught him how to play guitar.
Oh, wow.
I didn't
know that.
And just, imagine having, like, Waylon Jennings, like, being the guy to teach you to play guitar.
That's cool.
Like, yeah. I want to be Waylon Jennings, too.
All right, Clayton, I want to thank you very much for playing The Decider. How tough were the questions, man?
They were tough. There was a couple who I was like, nope, that one. But there was quite a few that I was like, man, I don't want to answer this. Like, I'm going to flip the Monopoly board game over and quit.
Right.
Like, go at home.
Well, thanks again for playing, man. I'd love to have you back sometime when you're free.
Yeah, let me know. We'll have to do it again. It was fun.
Is there any pages you want to give a shout out to, or any kind of businesses or anything you want to plug before you go?
If any of your people are looking for website design, my good friend Jeremy Webb is a website creator. You can find him on Facebook at JWeb Designs. He does launch pages and all kinds of different web stores and websites for people. So if you need a website, he's your man.
And thank you very much for watching The Decider. Make sure to subscribe to Picking Strings with Friends for more content. If you would like to be on the show, you can message me here or on our Facebook page. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.